So Ric Bucher's been making a lot of news. But anyway, there was a show that he did recently with former NBA player Brendon Haywood, who I believe played with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And this one was pretty interesting, and I'm going to read the background of it from the X account, The Truth. It says, Brendon Haywood says, LeBron James and Clutch Sports aren't going to be able to spin narratives to trick Philadelphia fans if things go wrong via their podcast. Take a look at what these guys had to say here.
Ric Bucher and Brendon Haywood just dropped a massive warning about LeBron James choosing Philadelphia. They claim Philly fans will ruthlessly turn on him the second things go sideways. But is LeBron actually in danger, or is the media spin machine already preparing its next target? Let's talk about it. Do you think Philadelphia sports fans will actually boo LeBron James if he slacks off on defense? Or will national sports media protect him like they always do? Drop your comments down below right now. Now, let's talk about why Ric Bucher and former NBA champion Brendon Haywood are making massive waves across the sports world right now.
Austin Reeves wasn't hesitating to go find his. Luka Doncic wasn't hesitating to go find his. I don't know that Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown are going to defer to LeBron if he's not playing at the same level, particularly if defensively he's costing them. And we had one of our viewers was saying, you know, when it doesn't work, you know, how fast are they going to get on Tyrese or VJ or whatever? I don't think that's the case with Philly. I think those guys have established who they are.
On a recent episode of the podcast Finding the Seams with Ric Bucher and Brendon Haywood, these guys broke down what is actually going to happen if LeBron James steps foot in Philadelphia and things don't go according to plan. Brendon Haywood, a guy who actually played in the NBA alongside both Michael Jordan and LeBron James, brought up a reality check that LeBron's media team isn't going to be able to control.
I think this may be the first time where LeBron is the one who's in the crosshairs if things aren't successful.
Hey, I'm going to tell you like this, because I was there for this one. I was at the All-Star game when Philly booed Kobe Bryant, their own beloved child. Boo! Hey, listen, in Philly, if it ain't right, they letting you know. And this ain't, they not playing the spin game. They're not gonna let you spin it. Like Clutch ain't gonna be able to spin this through the media. And nah, like if they mad at LeBron, it's gonna be boo.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be, it's gonna be the Philly sports radio shows and everything. The Philly fan base is one of the most ruthless and aggressive fan bases, and you can't trick these people, man.
Nope.
Haywood pointed out that Philadelphia isn't Los Angeles. It isn't Miami. It's not a place where you can just wave your 4 championship rings in people's faces and expect unconditional love. Haywood recounted being right there in the arena at the 2002 NBA All-Star Game in Philadelphia, when the Philly crowd mercilessly booed Kobe Bryant. Think about that for a second. Kobe Bryant was a local high school legend out of Lower Merion High School right outside Philly. He led Lower Merion to a state title in 1996. He was one of their own, and they still booed him on his home floor because he was playing for the enemy Lakers. If Philadelphia fans are willing to boo their own native son, what on earth makes anyone think they are going to roll out the red carpet for LeBron James if he starts lollygagging on defense?
Hey, listen, you can't tell them it's raining when it's not. Yep. You know what I'm saying? They not that type of crowd. So if they look out there and they see LeBron not hustling on defense, or if they look out there and they see Tyrese Maxey not getting proper usage, these Philly fans, they gonna call it out.
Yep.
This ain't the wine and cheese crowd at Staples that's gonna just, LeBron, nah.
They
Philly
also
is cutthroat.
Yep, and they recognize false hustle. You're not going to be able to have like a couple possessions where you're moving your feet and you're getting after it, and then there's 3 possessions where you're not rotating. The Philly fans will be aware of anyone that is not making that happen.
As Haywood and Bucher explained, Philadelphia fans possess a special, highly trained radar for what they call false hustle. You can't trick them. You can't slide into town with a fancy marketing campaign and pretend you're giving 100% effort when you're taking plays off. If LeBron moves his feet on defense for 2 possessions to make it look good for the cameras, and then stands around jogging back while the opponent gets a free fast break layup on the next 3 possessions, the crowd inside the Wells Fargo Center will spot it in 3 seconds. And when they spot it, they aren't going to clap politely. They are going to boo him right off the floor. Ric Bucher made another sharp point about the team dynamics. Young stars like Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown aren't wide-eyed rookies looking for a father figure to guide them through the league. Tyrese Maxey established himself as an elite, all-star point guard who averaged over 25 points per game. Jaylen Brown already proved his worth at the absolute highest level by winning a Finals MVP trophy and a championship ring. These guys aren't going to stand in the corner and defer to a 41-year-old veteran if that veteran is giving up more points on defense than he's creating on offense. In a clip that circulated heavily on social media, specifically highlighted in a tweet by @thetruth8240 discussing Ric Bucher's analysis, analysts pointed out that for the first time in his 23-year NBA career, LeBron James might actually be the guy in the crosshairs if the team starts losing.
Tyrese Maxey, they're not going to go after him because he's a clutch client as well. And of course, they're not going to go after LeBron James. So that leaves Joel Embiid as the odd man out. So he's going to be the one that's getting all the blame. Just today, ESPN already published a show where they're like, is the pressure now on Joel Embiid now that LeBron James is his teammate? They've already started. Now, I think fans will say something. ESPN won't report it. I think local sports radio and all of these guys, they'll call out LeBron if they feel like he's lollygagging on defense, not really adding anything to the offense, blah, 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 blah. They'll call him out because remember, they don't have any connection to LeBron James. They don't. It's not like as if he's going back to Miami where he established some kind of connection with the fan base and the radio personalities out there and stuff like that, where they'll kind of like cut him some slack. But Philly's a different thing. He has no connection to the franchise, none whatsoever, no history with them. And the fan base is their very candid fan base.
Let that sink in. For 2 decades, whenever a LeBron James team failed, someone else took the hit. In Miami, people blamed Chris Bosh during the 2011 Finals loss to Dallas when Bosh averaged 18.5 points while LeBron scored only 8 points in Game 4. In Cleveland, Kevin Love was constantly pushed to the trade block despite averaging a double-double. In Los Angeles, Frank Vogel got fired a year after winning a championship in 2020, and Russell Westbrook was turned into a national punchline during the 2021 to 2022 season, where the Lakers finished 33-49. In every single case, the media shield protected LeBron while throwing his teammates or coaches under the bus. Brendon Haywood put it best when he said Philly fans are not the wine and cheese crowd at Staples Center. In Los Angeles, celebrities sit courtside in $2,000 seats to be seen on Instagram. They clap when LeBron makes a flashy dunk, even if the team is down by 15 points in the fourth quarter. But in Philadelphia, sports fans work 40 to 60 hours a week in heavy construction, steel, and shipping. They pay hard-earned money for lower bowl seats, and they expect pure, blue-collar grit. If they see LeBron cherry-picking at half court while his teammates fight 4-on-5 on defense, Philly sports radio shows on WIP and 97.5 The Fanatic will roast him from 6 a.m. to midnight. However, here is where my perspective differs from Ric Bucher and Brendon Haywood. While I agree 100% that the local Philadelphia fans and local sports talk hosts will call LeBron out, do not be fooled into thinking national television media will ever follow suit. National sports media operates under a completely different set of rules. The clutch sports media machine has been fine-tuning its defensive spin strategies for over 20 years, and we can already see the blueprint being laid out in real time. If Philadelphia starts the season with a mediocre 12-15 record, who do you think national media is going to blame? It won't be LeBron James. It won't be Jaylen Brown, because attacking a recent Finals MVP makes you look uninformed on national television. It won't be Tyrese Maxey, because Maxey happens to be represented by Clutch Sports as well. That leaves exactly one man standing as the ultimate scapegoat: Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is the odd man out in this entire equation. ESPN didn't even wait for the season to start before launching the narrative engine. They literally broadcasted segments asking, "Is the pressure now on Joel Embiid now that LeBron James is his teammate?" Think about how absurd that is. Joel Embiid is a former NBA Most Valuable Player who averaged 33.1 points and 10.2 rebounds per game during his MVP campaign, playing through torn knee ligaments and facial fractures to carry the Sixers franchise. Yet before a single official game is even played, the national narrative is already setting Embiid up to take 100% of the blame if things fall apart. If Embiid misses 15 games with knee soreness, which is fairly common for a 7'1" center who has played through multiple surgical procedures, the television talking heads will pounce immediately. Brian Windhorst, Jay Williams, and Kendrick Perkins will sit on morning talk shows and say, "Look, LeBron is giving you 20.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 7.2 assists per game in year 23 at 41 years old. He's doing his part. Joel Embiid just isn't dependable." Write these words down right now, because I guarantee you will hear them on national television next season. LeBron James just doesn't have enough help in Philadelphia. The 76ers roster is far too top-heavy. It is the exact same script they used in 2018 when Cleveland's roster crumbled, and the exact same script they used in Los Angeles whenever the Lakers missed the playoffs or got eliminated in the first round. Let's look at the actual statistics and numbers to see how this media magic trick works. During recent seasons, mainstream sports broadcasts praised LeBron James for leading the NBA in fast break points, averaging over 5.0 fast break points per game at age 40+. The national broadcast showed highlights of LeBron soaring for open breakaway dunks, calling him an ageless wonder. What the national media intentionally left out of the box score was the tracking data showing how those fast break points happened. Advanced tracking metrics revealed that LeBron consistently ranked near the bottom of the league in defensive transition recovery speed. He was cherry-picking. He would stay in the front court arguing with referees about a missed foul call, while his 4 teammates had to defend a fast break on the other end. When the opposing team missed a shot, LeBron was already at the opposite free throw line, waiting for an easy leak-out pass. In Los Angeles or Miami, the local media covers up those numbers because they want to protect their access to the superstar. But in Philadelphia, local sports writers and stat analysts will publish those numbers on Twitter within 5 minutes of the game ending. According to an article published on Basketball Network covering Ric Bucher's analysis of LeBron's market value, Bucher pointed out that at age 41, LeBron simply doesn't command the same raw leverage he used to. Even with career totals exceeding 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists, 4 MVPs, and 4 NBA titles, Father Time remains undefeated. When an aging superstar's physical defense declines, surrounding him with high-usage players like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey requires sacrifice. If LeBron isn't willing to sacrifice his offensive usage rate or commit to sprinting back on defense, the internal tension will explode. We have seen this exact historical movie play out before. Go back to 2004 when the Lakers assembled a super team featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton. On paper, that team looked completely unstoppable. But Karl Malone got injured, Gary Payton struggled to adapt to Tex Winter's triangle offense, and the chemistry collapsed under the immense weight of media scrutiny. They ended up getting thoroughly outclassed in 5 games by the Detroit Pistons in the 2004 NBA Finals. Look at the 2012 to 2013 Brooklyn Nets with Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, and Pau Gasol, a team that graced the cover of Sports Illustrated with the headline, "Now this is going to be fun." That team barely won 45 games and was eliminated in the first round because defense and effort were completely absent. Philadelphia sports history proves that local fans do not care about your resume. When Moses Malone came to Philadelphia in 1982 and promised "foe, foe, foe," He delivered a championship while playing ferocious defense and averaging 15.3 rebounds per game in the playoffs. When Allen Iverson played in Philly, he averaged 41.1 minutes per game and dove across the hard floor for loose balls despite weighing barely 165 pounds. That is why Philly loved Iverson, and that is why they loved Moses Malone. They didn't love them because of shoe commercials or media hype. They loved them because of raw, unadulterated effort. If LeBron James thinks he can walk into the Wells Fargo Center, play coast-to-coast offensive basketball, skip defensive rotations, and have national media personalities shield him from criticism, he is in for a rude awakening. The national television networks like ESPN and FS1 will continue to make excuses for him, but the 20,000 fans sitting in the arena in Philadelphia will make their voices heard loud and clear. It will be an absolute nightmare inside that building every single night they lose. That's my take on the situation, but now I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.